right, so show us the video. Judy is over here complaining that she did the right thing, that she felt so threatened, right, because she was eating at the same time. She was so threatened that she had to call the police, that they had to inform the authorities. Show us the video. Camacho made a statement that his officers did exactly what they were supposed to do under the circumstances. So I say, show us the video. We just needed a reason to boycott another Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street corporation. You know, the same corporation that owned Target. This is how we boycott. This is how we use our money to speak and hold these corporations accountable. You want us to come spend our money in your stores, but then you want to treat us like shit. It was a teenage boy, but all you see is his black skin. All this does is feed into why we do not trust the police, why we cannot trust the people that claim to be an authority to us. That young man was out there fighting for his life, and all y'all could do was continue to restrain him. I'm glad nothing worse happened to him, and we need to keep up the pressure. I'm going to say it again. Show us the video.
Hello guys, welcome once again to the channel. I hope wherever you're watching, you're having a great time. Now, what is it like to be black in America? This is a question that has been asked in many instances. And for me, I came across a clip here that is quite telling about the life of a black person in America. There was this white lady who called the cops on a child, a black kid. And she said that this black kid came with some sharp objects and was threatening the neighborhood kids. And even other adults felt like the kid was a threat to them. And therefore, police came and was handling this situation. But I was surprised when I found that the police tend to believe this white lady more than others who are speaking about the real situation of how things happened there. So it got me wondering and asking myself, is it this sad? Is it this bad? Living in America where a small kid can be exposed to police brutality. Just go to the mind of that kid and ask yourself, what is this kid feeling? The kid has heard about police shootings and police killing people. The kid must be terrified, and in the mind of that kid, you'd get to ask yourself, how will he survive? That is what the kid is thinking about, because the kid doesn't know whether the police are going to kill him or whatever is going to happen. But the situation is not really good. I don't really think this is what I would expose my kids to. That is why I always also tell most black Americans that if you find time, come to Africa. Try walking around and find whether you'll get a situation where a small kid is being harassed by a police just because of being black. We are your people and we love you. Come to Africa. But how are we going to sort out this problem? Because if it is about talking of how police brutality has affected American society, especially for the blacks, it has been said times without number. And there are instances where some have even been prosecuted and jailed, but you still find that this line of engagement still exists. How will people get to know that there are some alienable rights that human beings have to live in a free space where they can't be subjected to horror? I wanted to watch the clip and the reactions that this woman got over her behavior. Then we shall come back and share our thoughts in the end. Let's watch.
You did this. You did this. You did this. No, I was in the store the entire time, honey. I saw it all. No, defend you because he did nothing wrong. You were following him from the time he walked in the store. No, honey, no.
Just let them talk. I can hear you. I don't need you yelling. I'm not a child. And I'm not your child.
Exactly.
They would have never. Just let them cuff you. Just let them cuff you.
Oh, God.
That's dead wrong. I work here. I don't want to go to work here.
And I was here the entire time and saw everything what happened. Oh, God. Please calm down.
Get off of him.
Please calm down.
Y'all called because he pulled a knife on you.
No, he didn't. He didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing. He didn't. Let me tell you something. If she don't know the slang, she needs to shut the hell up, because the only thing he said, he'll pull out a band, and a band is money. If she don't know the slang, she needs to shut the hell up. And he don't got no fucking weapon.
Look at that.
If she don't know the slang, she needed to shut the fuck up. She ain't gonna have no job after the day.
So this is Carolyn Bryant. No, this is not Carolyn Bryant. This is Judy, and she could possibly be a descendant of Carolyn Bryant, because lying on black boys seems to run in her family. Well, anyway, Judy is a cashier at a CVS in Charleston, South Carolina, and Judy accused a black boy with no knife of threatening to pull a knife on her. And she called the police after following him around the store. Yeah, let's take a look at how that. And there you have it. All of those witnesses. The employee of the store was also trying to tell them that this woman was lying. But because she was white, they came up on the scenes ready to harm a black child over her fraudulent claims. And the first white police officer on the scene proceeded to just grab the young man with no investigation or no questions asked, based upon the words of Carolyn Bryant's descendant. First officer on the scene proceeded to just grab the young man. Investigation? No. Not when you have the word of one white woman in spite of the words of every black woman present, even the employees of this CVS. And here's the statement released by the North Charleston Police Department in connection with this incident. On 9/25/25, around 1:32 p.m., officers responded to a disturbance involving a male at CVS 5215 Ashley Phosphate Road, allegedly armed. The individual was detained after a brief struggle. No injuries were reported and no weapon was located. The juvenile was released to a parent with charges of assault in the third and breach of peace. We are aware that video of this incident are being shared online. Body-worn camera footage is being reviewed, and the Office of Professional Standards has been notified. We remain committed to transparency, accountability, and respectful engagement with the community. And you didn't miss the part where no weapon was found, right? And yet and still, they still charged the juvenile with assault third. Yeah, all because a white woman called them. They had to charge him with something, right? Even though what she said was a lie. And all the witnesses, you don't want to believe black women, but I'm going to tell you something else. CVS has video cameras. CVS has video cameras. Y'all understand the assignment? I'm sure you can look up from 5215 and find everything you need to do. Call to action. Let's get it.
Peace.
It was all her fault. It was her.
Get off of him.
Y'all called because he pulled a knife on you.
No, he didn't.
A young black boy got into a disagreement with a white woman at a CVS, and he said that he could pull a band out of his pocket, a band being a reference to money that the white woman claims to have taken as a reference to a weapon. The white woman called North Charleston Police Department over the misunderstanding.
You did this.
What did I do?
You did this. You did this.
You didn't
You
understand what
did
he
this.
did.
No, I was in the store the entire entire time, honey. I saw it all.
defend me.
No, defend you because he did nothing wrong.
He threatened
You
me
were
with a
following
knife.
him from the time he walked
You
in the
didn't
store.
understand what happened
No,
outside.
honey, no.
And of course, North Charleston Police Department showed up and did what they do. Brutalized the young kid, despite all of the bystanders telling them he did not have a weapon. He did not threaten her with a weapon. It was a misunderstanding, something lost in translation between standardized English and Black English.
The only thing he said, he'll pull out a band, and a band is money. If she don't know the slang, she needs to shut the hell up. I was here the whole entire time.
Now, pair that incident with the instance of a Black suspect being denied their right to an attorney because they said to the police officers, "I want a lawyer, dog." And the police denied them an attorney because they said that they could not find an attorney that was a canine. And the judge agreed that the suspect asked for a lawyer dog, not a lawyer, comma, dog.
A man who used slang while being interrogated by New Orleans investigators was denied his right to counsel.
It doesn't make any sense at all. If there were such a thing as a lawyer dog, then it would be confusing. But there isn't.
And why do I mention these two incidents? Because Black language is being quite literally policed. We know it, and y'all know it. We both know that when y'all are flexing your pedantry, your prescriptivism, you are also flexing your privilege, your power. White power, or so you say. I and other Black educators like me expose the inherent weakness of your wheatness. Language pedantry is a component of the white power structure, and we both know that. For those of you who are saying that this is simply about grammar, language, it has nothing to do with race, then ask yourself, why then are there social stigmas, social consequences, and rewards attached to the ability to speak properly a language that my ancestors didn't choose to speak, a language that people of color across the world didn't choose to speak, and just happens to be the language of their oppressor? If it's not about race, why then was it a priority for the oppressor to make it illegal for the enslaved to master their language? Some of you would rather I was sitting here cussing and carrying it on rather than sitting here calmly, smugly, dare I say uppitily, the one who's now wielding the whip. It's giving revolution. We out here.
TikTok, I'm back. Another story. North Charleston, South Carolina. North Charleston Police Department. Here we go again. Similar situation, except for this time it is CVS Pharmacy on Ashley Phosphate Road. CVS Pharmacy on Ashley Phosphate Road. White worker calls the police and tells them that a young man threatened her with a knife and a blade. Police comes in hot. One officer comes first. That officer did not even ask any questions. He immediately jumped out the car, grabbed the little boy by his arm, and grabbed him by his neck. Little boy's yelling. Witnesses surrounding the area all have phones out, letting them know, "What are you doing? What are you doing? He's a minor. He's a minor." One of the other CVS employees, Black woman, yelling, "What are you doing? I work here. He didn't do anything. What are you talking about? I work here. What are you doing?" "Well, we got a call saying he has a knife." "What knife? Nobody's never threatened anybody or had a knife." The CVS employee is telling him this never happened. Another white CVS employee is yelling the same thing. "What are you doing? This never happened." "Well, we got a call saying he had a blade." All the while he's saying this, he has a good grip on this young man. This young man is yelling for his life, asking him to let him go. Another officer pulls up. The officer, instead of seeing what's going on, the little boy looks at him pleading, "Help me. I don't know what's his problem." He jumped out the car and started attacking me. I was trying to be nice to him and he attacked me. I wasn't being disrespectful. I was trying to be nice. Fast forward, the officer was like, "Well, just let us handcuff you. Let us handcuff you." They're roughing him up. At this point, they all fall to the ground. They have one knee on the back. Their same protocol, knee on the back of the neck. Have this young man down. Several people yelling, screaming, "Let him go. He's a minor. What are y'all doing?" Even the CVS worker is still yelling, "I work here. He has done nothing to anybody. What are y'all talking about?" Several other officers at this point arrive. Officers get there. Other officers are trying to help restrain the little boy. One officer, there's one Black officer out of all of these officers. At this point, I think the young lady at this point was desperate Because she looks at the black officer and says, what are you doing? Help him. Like, help. You just standing there. Help him. Like, help him. Do you see what's going on? And they intervene. They finally get him handcuffed and they get him pulled up. One of the officers are saying, we got a call about a person threatening an employee with a knife. The woman that actually called is standing there. She yells, I didn't say he had a knife. I never said anybody had a knife. The officer looks at her, so well, we got a call saying someone had a knife and was threatened with a knife. I don't know. I didn't say anybody had a knife. Not me. I didn't say that. I made the call and I didn't say that. So at this point, you guys have tackled, pulled, knocked him down. He's pleading, crying for help, asking for somebody to call his mother. And the whole time you had a false report. But instead of you actually approaching this young man to have a conversation to get the facts before you jumped out of the car just off the whim of a phone call to find out the call wasn't even real, you done traumatized this young black boy. You've traumatized him. Traumatize him. I'm going to post in my comments the picture of the CVS worker. I'm going to try to screenshot the video, y'all. It was on Facebook. One of our local people put it on there. It is her nephew. But we got to do better. Officers, we got to learn to de-escalate, not escalate. De-escalate. All it took was the conversation with this young man and the witnesses surrounding you to find out the facts before you. First reaction was to initiate aggression. To be aggressive. To be aggressive. CVS, Ashley Phosphate, North Charleston Police Department. We at it again. Just had a video up a couple of months ago. You can look on my profile. Circle K, North Charleston Police Department. Hardhead officers. Instead of listening and finding out what's going on. Now y'all got a lawsuit. Now it look like y'all gonna have another lawsuit. North Charleston not gonna get tired of these lawsuits. Y'all better start getting some de-escalation training because y'all need it. Bad. Bad. Now I want to say a praying for that young man because I know he's traumatized the way he screamed and hollered and wanted his mother. It is sad. I got emotional watching the video of this young man. I pray that his family gets the best lawyer for him. CVS, you got to do better. North Charleston Police Department, you got to do better. And this is not a thing against cops because there are some few good cops out there. But the ones that are doing bad, y'all have to call them out. Call them out on their BS. Call them out on their bullshit.
So I just watched a video of a young man being aggressively taken down outside of CVS after a white woman claims that he threatened her, which he didn't. She didn't understand the slang and took it as a threat, called the cops. The initial cop that showed up started beating this kid, and the kid started resisting. And then by the end of the video, 4 cops are on this kid, right? He is shouting for help. He is shouting for help. He wants these guys off of him. And all of the people who are around, all the witnesses are saying, we have this on video, that he did nothing wrong. And yet they still did that. They still pinned him to the ground. He's a teenager. He's calling for his mama. And like, the whole time, he's just like, calm down, stop resisting. It's like, hey, just calm down. Why are you resisting? Why are you resisting? Why are you resisting? Like, you're beating the shit out of me. Why the fuck wouldn't I resist? Like, what? What the fuck?
We have been watching black and brown people being killed on camera on any various social media platform by the hands of police brutality or by gun violence for literally over a decade. And every single time, the right is the first to sow any type of discourse and try to justify in any way why that black or brown person does not deserve our empathy because of XYZ that they had done in their past. And that's what led to this happening to them. And so for those same people to, now that it's Charlie Kirk, for those same people to like condemn people on the opposite side of the line of Charlie Kirk who are just bringing up what the man said out of his own mouth. They are only ever pulling up factual statements that he made, videos of what he is saying, where gun deaths are just a price that you have to pay in order to protect the Second Amendment. Or the man who said he doesn't even believe in the concept of empathy at all. He believes it's made up. That is not the same as trying to justify his death. No one's trying to justify his death. In fact, everything that I've seen on both the right and the left and anybody who's in the middle, we all agree that gun violence is the problem and we need to do something about gun reform. That's what's crazy, is that we're even still extending empathy in a situation in which he wouldn't have even asked for it or cared for it, because if this were to happen to me, he would not have cared. If this were to have happened to my husband, he definitely would not have cared, and he would have sowed discourse to try to find a reason to justify why it happened to my husband, because he's a black man. And that's literally the type of person that Charlie Kirk was. So it is absolutely baffling to me that y'all are never able to take any type of criticism and never have any type of self-awareness to see the fucked up shit that y'all believe in and the absolute double standards. It's ridiculous. I wish that y'all would just say out loud with your whole chest that you're racist, homophobic, transphobic, misogynist, etc. I wish that y'all would just say that, because otherwise we just have to read between the lines.
I'm going to speak from my side and from what I witnessed. The Karen, which is Judy. No, first of all, let's back up a minute. For North Charleston Chief Ron to say that the people who recorded escalated the situation is total BS. I'll tell him that to his face. Now back to Judy. If this child knowingly know he was being followed and said something to you about it, and for you to just go left field when he plain out told you he just wanted something to drink. He just told you, it's weird that you're following me. I'm not going to steal anything out the store. I just want something to drink. She screamed and said, "Get out." He said, "I'm not going because I'm only buying something to drink." Now, where is that so wrong? And for him to say that, "I'll show you a band." Everybody in Charleston knows how these kids talk nowadays. So evidently you ain't from Charleston. Evidently you have no encounter with no one in that area. For you to pick up a phone and say you were threatened with a weapon, with a knife, is absurd. Yeah, I said it. You need to go and rethink your whole life. It's just crazy how me and this young man even sat and had a conversation before the cops got there. He's well-mannered, very respectful. I don't know his past life. I don't know this child. He doesn't know me. He could have been saying, "Yeah, no," but no, he said, "Yes, ma'am," the whole entire time. For him to say, "I'm going to sit here, ma'am, and wait and talk to the cops so I can get him to see my side of the story. I just want to tell him what happened, what made her call him out here. I gave him a thumbs up for that. And I said, yeah, baby, do what you got to do. Just make sure you straighten it out from what you said in the store when you said you'll pull a band out. Meaning, you had $1,000, you had money. He said, yes, ma'am, I surely will. That's why I want to sit here and let him know. I said, I just heard her over the phone saying you had a weapon. And you don't. Clearly, you don't.
So after watching that, I think I feel more sad about the entire situation in America. And this really makes some of black people coming from African continent going to America. I wonder what is in your minds, because why would you leave such a peaceful place in Africa, then go to a place where just because you are black, the police can stop you and start asking you some questions? I've been looking at how ICE agents are handling some of the non-Americans, as it were, and it's not a rosy situation. Everything looks bad there. Police brutality has inflicted profound intergenerational trauma on black Americans, manifesting as a constant threat that disrupts daily existence and erodes community trust. From 2015 to 2024, black Americans faced fatal police shootings at the rate of 6.1 per million, over twice the rate for white Americans, with black individuals comprising 22% of victims despite being just 13% of the population. This violence extends beyond deaths to non-fatal force, psychological harm, and economic strain from settlements costing taxpayers millions annually, while leaving families grappling with grief, hypervigilance, and barriers to mental health care. For most black people, these encounters foster a pervasive fear that turns routine interactions like walking in neighborhoods or driving into a potential life or death risks, compounding systemic racism in housing, education, and employment to make thriving feels unattainable. So how can this situation be addressed? Because for blacks, this entire situation has been heartbreaking for them. The first thing that can be done is community education and talk in families and schools. American society can curb unnecessary police calls on black children by embedding racial socialization education early, empowering families and schools to prepare youth without defaulting to law enforcement. Programs like the American Psychological Association's Resilience Initiative guide black parents in delivering the talk, conversations on complaint police interactions that a 2025 Johns Hopkins study found reduced anticipatory stress about brutality by up to 30% among Baltimore youth aged 12 to 21. Scaling this through school curricula, as piloted in Chicago public schools, teaches de-escalation and rights awareness, fostering resilience and reducing parental panic that triggers 911 calls for minor behaviors like playing loudly, which disproportionately target black kids perceived as threats. Another one is public awareness campaigns against racial profiling. But this has been done, but I think still it needs to be done. Launching nationwide campaigns to educate non-black communities on implicit biases can diminish biased 911 calls by reframing black children's normal place as non-threatening, drawing from successful models like Auckland's Think Twice initiative that cut such calls by 25% in 2 years. These efforts, amplified via social media and PSAs featuring real stories from affected families, highlight how white collars often misinterpret black youth, leading to over-policing, and promote alternative like community mediators. By partnering with organizations like the NAACP, society shifts cultural norms, reducing the 50% plus of youth force incidents, including black children, as reported by NPR, and easing the emotional burden on families who dread every unfounded report. Number 3 is expanding alternative response programs. Redirecting low-risk calls from police to unarmed trained civilians, such as mental health professionals or social workers, directly addresses overpolicing of black kids in nonviolent scenarios like welfare checks or loitering complaints. Cities like Denver's STAR program, which handle 911 diversions with a 98% non-police resolution rate, have lowered black youth arrests by 15% since 2020. Per APHA data, federal funding from the 2021 American Rescue Program supports scaling these public health-informed models, prioritizing black neighborhoods to prevent escalations that fuel brutality cycles, allowing kids safer spaces for growth without the shadow of armed intervention. The fourth issue and solution is policy reforms and accountability measures. Enacting policies like mandatory bias training for 911 dispatchers and penalties for frivolous calls can systematically reduce unwarranted responses to black children, building on New York's 2023 law that fines repeat biased reporters up to $1,000, coupled with the DOJ mandated body cameras and use of force audits in high complaint departments. These reforms proven to drop force incidents by 17% in Ferguson post-2015, hold systems accountable. Community oversight boards empowered by voter referendums, as in Minneapolis, ensures transparency, dismantling the structures that make police brutality a daily hazard and restoring faith in institutions for black families long denied equitable protection. So while everything is happening, there are strategies that can be adopted to limit such kind of scenarios. I don't know what level of harm that small kid posed to the white lady. And this is not just the only case that has happened. They have happened many times. And they continue to happen. So I just think that a law should be put to ensure that anybody who is reporting or calling the police on a child must have proof first that the child is posing any risk to them or to the society. But any form of racial calls, like the ladies' calls, need to be treated with serious fines so that they can be deterred from making such unfounded and misrepresented calls that can only work to stress the young kid over the years. Share your thoughts down in the comment section. And if you're watching us for the first time, please remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share. Thank you, and let's meet on the next one.